These thoughts up in my head, things I never did. I took some L's, but I'm still here.
I got these thoughts up in my head. I toss and turn about some things I never said. I got regrets about some things I never did. I took some risks and took some L's, but I'm still here. And I know.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I'm your host, Ed, and as always, journey with me as we keep our faith in a world full of chaos. I pray that you have had a successful week. I hope that things are going well. I hope that you are fulfilling the things that you said you wanted to do, that you are being blessed beyond favor, that you are just happy with life and how things are going. So I pray that things are going well. If you're like me, maybe you feel like things are good, but there's something missing, or you just feel kind of distant, or you just don't feel like you're back with the source. Like you're just not, like y'all not on the same page. Then this episode is for you. I titled this episode Unplugged because I think sometimes we lose our power when we become unplugged from the source being Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And so today we're going to talk about it. So sit back, relax, take some time, and hopefully the words that I say to you will encourage you and uplift you in some way, shape, or form. And we'll go from there, all right? So maybe you have been feeling unplugged. Maybe you have been feeling like you just haven't been on the same page. Like you're doing things, but you're just not there yet. And so here's my question of the week for you. Do you feel disconnected from the source? Do you feel like the power you once had is no longer there? Do you feel like you're moving, but it's just not the same, right? It's not moving in the way in which we want it to, right? And so sometimes I think that, we have to do a hard reset, and we have to go back to where we were, and we have to reach back out to God and be like, yo, here I am. This is what I'm dealing with. I don't feel great. I don't feel like me and you connecting for real, but I'm trying. And once again, remember that just because you don't feel his presence, he always is present. But it's okay to admit that to him. He can take your harsh truths. He can take what you're saying to him. He can deal with your emotions. He can deal with your anxiety. He can deal with your overthinking. He can deal with your doubts. He can deal with your fears. He can deal with anything that you present to him. Just be willing and ready to talk to him. Trust that he'll listen. So a couple things I was thinking about, like why do we feel disconnected sometimes? I think a big thing is doubt. One of the ways I see doubt in my life is that I might see something that I feel like maybe I'm qualified for, or I think I could do well. And then I see other people that are doing the same thing, or other situations in where there's people there who are just thriving. And I think to myself, I don't know if I'm at that level. Like I'm okay, but I don't know if I'm like as good as everybody else. And I think that a lot of times our doubt cancels out what we're blessed to do, because we focus more so on the doubt rather than focusing on what we're called to do. And when you doubt, you kill dreams, you kill progress, you kill success, you kill goals, you kill vision. Doubt is a serious dream killer. And the only way that we can really overcome doubt is just by having that faith and taking the first step and saying, okay, I know I feel this way, but I'm still going to go through regardless, because if I am called to do it, then I know I'm going to be equipped to do the things that are necessary. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that comes into play. And I think a lot of times, life is what life is, right? Like we got our moments, we have our shortcomings, our points in where we feel like maybe this isn't it, but we should never doubt when we have our Redeemer. We should never doubt when we are made in God's image. We should never doubt when the Alpha and Omega is the one that is not only creating the path for us and creating footsteps for us, but he's also leading us in the direction where we need to go. So doubt is a real thing. But at the same time, we got to be able to, move forward and say, all right, this is what we're doing, and this is how this works. But I get it. Another thing too, like there are just times where we feel like we're pulled in so many different directions and we're doing so many different things. We're doing this for this person. We're doing this for the job. We're doing this for our career. We're doing this because we want personal growth. And then the low energy comes in. We don't rest properly and we don't take care of ourselves properly and we just fade to black. So we put minimal effort into the things that we do. And I think a lot of that, if you take all those things that we do, it all relates back to the source. There's a lack of things that happen. So, we get a lack of reading. So we go away from the word, and it's when it tells us to turn the other cheek, or when it tells us to rest, and when it tells us to trust in the plans, we try to put ourselves in God's position and say, nah, that ain't it right now. I'll try this. I'll do this. I'll do that. And try to do all these different things. And then you realize you're trying to play God and you can't do that. Like, I don't think that if you were in the same position that Jesus was in, let's just be real. And they say, all right, die for everybody. You'll be like, I'm sorry, what? Like, yeah, die for everybody. You're going to take on everybody's sin. You're going to take on everybody's transgressions. You're going to take on everybody's shortcomings, all that stuff, all the things that happen in life. And you're going to be the one sacrificed. Let's just be real. I don't think that that's something you would do. And so at the end of the day, we have to remember who did all that for us. And if we ever feel lost, remember, we have the guide that tells us everything that he went through, everything that he did, everything that he suffered through, everything that he sacrificed, every temptation that came his way that he didn't succumb to. Every time somebody tried to catch him in a lie or try to deviate a plan to make him slip up, he never did. I mean, he's a perfect human being. And although we're not perfect, we get to serve the perfect human being, which I think is amazing. And also, he's not just human, he's supernatural. So when we bring our natural, he puts the supernatural in there. The things that we can't do, the miracles that are performed that our human hands could never craft. So it's a matter of remembering the source and trusting in the word, right? So lack of reading is one thing. Lack of prayer. Sometimes we get so stressed out, we don't even pray. And people think that prayer is such like a cop out. Like a lot of people like, oh, you just going to say you pray for me. Like I remember one time I said I was going to pray for somebody and they said, oh, you say that like it's a magic trick. And it's like, no, you think when I say I'm going to pray for you, it means nothing. But prayer is the direct communication to God himself. When I say Father in heaven or dear Lord or Lord, please, however I address it, I know he's listening. I know he's hearing me. I know he wants to hear what I have to say. And you could come to him with whatever you're dealing with. Lord, I'm angry. Lord, I'm tired. Lord, I'm frustrated. Lord, I keep sinning. Lord, I'm upset at these situations. Lord, I want more. Lord, I want less. Lord, this is too much. Like, come to him. What's the verse say? Come to me, all who are weary, and I'll give you rest. Like, he means that. Prayer is the best way to communicate with him. But the world is demeaned it as like just something you say when things go bad. Oh, thoughts and prayers don't stop anything. Could you imagine if we all stopped and prayed and turned to God? What could happen? We got a lot of people trying to be in a position and step in front of that instead of actually turning to the source and saying, Lord, what is it that you want me to do? So prayer definitely works. I have seen it. I've been a part of it. I've had people pray for me and I've seen things change. I've prayed for other people with the hope that things have changed. And it's just a beautiful way to connect with God. So don't diminish prayer and think that prayer is a bad thing. It's the best thing that you could do. Another thing, lack of fasting. So I am guilty of this. I'll be honest. I know it says to fast. And there have been moments where it's like, okay, I've done, social media fast, or I put my phone down, or I've given up stuff. But like actual like fasting. I did a 3-day fast a while ago just to kind of get into it and get a feel for how it was. It's definitely tough because you're denying your desires, your flesh, your gratitude, and there's people that like Philip Anthony Mitchell says is like true OGs where they just fast. It's just water, no food, no nothing, right? And there's some people that will do the Daniel fast where, from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then they do like a light meal or something like that. And I think it's more than just sacrificing food. It's learning how to really be in tune with God, denying your flesh for real. And I know it's something I need to do, and at some point I'm gonna have to do it. It's biblical, it's in there, so we have to do it. In the same breath, it's one of the more challenging things, but I think it's put out there for us to really connect with God on a level that we never thought that was imaginable, because you can still fast and still make it through. My mom's been a part of fast. My other people in church I know have been parts of fast, pastors that I've seen. My mom's husband, he's done a lot of those things. So like, there are people who I know that go through it. My sister, I believe, has done it as well. So it's just like, I know there's people around there that do it, and I'm like, I know I need to at some point, and it's something I'm gonna have to go back to, read and pray and really put myself in that position. But I think also to challenge you as well, and like, if you've never done it before, start off with the 3 days, get a feel for what that feels like. Like, trust God in whatever he tells you to do and how he's going to lead you, and then gradually build. So I think those are 3 things that, could help with our energy, could really get us connected back to a source. I'm going to change gears on this because I'm talking about like how we should connect and all these things. But let me just ask you a blatant question. Have you turned your back on the source? Like, have you just been like, I'm cool? Have you put faith in yourself instead of the Lord? I was talking with somebody the other day, and they were telling me, they were like, Ed, I'm such a planner. Like, I got to plan this. I got to do that. And I said, there's nothing wrong with planning, but whose plan do you trust more? Do you trust your plan, or you trust God's plan? I think it's easier to say you're going to trust your plan because you write it down and you can see it with your limited vision. But what we don't do is take our time to really see the plan that God has and really see his vision and see it all the way through. Those are things that I think as Christians, as human beings, we really have to work on. But whose plan do you trust in more? And are you putting more faith in you, or are you putting faith in God? And there are struggles, there are battles, there are temptations, there are strongholds, there's all these different things. Some days you might feel on top of the world. Some days you feel like you're going to fall. Some days you actually will fall. All days you can turn to God. Have you given up on God because it haven't gone your way? Like, have you had these plans in your mind and you're like, this is how it can work, and this is what's going to happen, and this is how I'm going to deal with it. I know for a fact that this is the way that it's supposed to be, and I got it, and it's just destined, and then it doesn't happen. Or everything looks like it's laid out the right way and it's meant for you to go, and you're like, this is it, I got it, I know this is for me, and then it doesn't go your way. Can you still keep your faith in God when you're facing disappointment? Can you still trust God when what you trust him for did not come through? Can you still be thankful even though you didn't get what you prayed for? That is something you have to analyze for yourself. That's something that requires deep thought and prayer, and looking at it from a different lens, because what you might have prayed for wasn't what God intended for you to have. And if you would have received what you prayed for, it might have taken you away from God himself. So maybe you didn't get it because it was protecting you from something you didn't even know was going to happen. And sometimes you just got to step back and say, I don't understand it, but I'm going to thank you anyway. I know it's easier said than done, but thankful for a God that allows us to get chances and to do this thing on the daily. So every day you wake up, like I said, you got a purpose, and every day you have a chance to do better. So if you're in that boat right now, I challenge you, take it day by day and do your best to trust. Do you believe who God says he is? You believe what he says he is, the Alpha, the Omega, the creator, the beginning and the end. Okay. Your father, you being made in his image, true Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world, the one who died, resurrected. On that 3rd day, he rose again. We're actually getting ready to get into that season. Like, we're in that season right now, but Resurrection Sunday's coming soon. Easter Sunday's coming soon. So, do you believe that happened? And there's so many people that are out here that don't. There's so many people that think that it's fictional. They think that it's just this like made up character. And then they come up with, well, if God is this, then how come this, and this? And well, if God is this, and this. I mean, if you read the word, there's a lot of things that are happening in the world right now that are in the Bible. The other thing too that I think is interesting is that the way that Christianity and the way that God is mocked, it's so crazy to me because there's really no other religion that's like mocked the way that Christianity is at all. Which is crazy because if you really don't believe, then why are you mocking it? It's almost as if you're trying to say, I really hope it's not true, but why would you sit here and play with something like that? Especially too, when you look at all these different religions and beliefs and backgrounds and all this other stuff, who's the only one that's still living, that rose from the dead? I don't know. It's something you should think about and something that you really should go in prayer to. Carl Lentz said this a while ago, and I know that people feel the way that they feel, but he said something. I remember he said in a sermon, he said, everybody in here worships something. I just hope whatever you worship in here is going to save your life. So, think about that. The common trend, the thing when you think about, feeling disconnected, unplugged, we need to come back to the source. The good news is that God never left. He was just always waiting on us. So even when we feel like we're disconnected, even when we feel like we're lost, God never left us. God is still there, arms open wide, saying, I'm here. I know you walked away. I know that you stumbled. I know that you failed. I know that you turned your back. My love is still unconditional, and I'm here. And I think that's something that we can trust daily, that when we fall, like, we live in a sinful nature, we live in a sinful world. So some people might feel like there's no hope at all. What do you mean? But the reality is like, turning to God allows us to navigate through this world, keeping our faith in a world full of chaos, right? Something to think about. So how can we connect again? So you're feeling a certain way. You feel like, okay, Lord, maybe I'm too far gone. Maybe I just have done way too much and there's just no way I can get back to where I was. Lies. You can rebuild. Honestly, the best way to do it, take the first step. Even the smallest step that you take can create the largest footprints. And the footprints that you create could be the blueprint for somebody else to follow in the footsteps to get them closer to the Creator as well. You never know how you're being used by God on a daily basis. But walking with Him and walking in faith could shine light on somebody else who needed something, who needed a sign, who needed a vision, who needed to see something physical. And just by you walking in faith and staying obedient and taking it one step at a time could be the thing that saves a person's life. Just because you think human eyes don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't go unnoticed. Somebody is seeing it. Somebody is watching you. Somebody is counting on you. And you just might be the breakthrough and the blessing for somebody to be saved. So take the first step. One of the things that I looked at when I was thinking about being unplugged was I looked in the Bible, because I do the Bible verses, right? I looked at the woman with the issue of blood. So in Matthew 9:20-22, the verse states this: just then a woman who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. She said to herself, if I only touch his cloak, I will be healed. Jesus turned and saw her. Take heart, daughter, he said. Your faith has healed you. And the woman was healed at that moment. When I say take the first step, here's something that you need to know, because obviously I did the research on this. She had an issue of blood, which meant that she was unclean. And being unclean was like, especially a woman in those times of being unclean, men weren't trying to see that. Like, trying to get to the front of the line to see God himself, they weren't going for it. So she had to take a risk. Wow. She had to take a risk to get closer to God. Whoa. Take a risk to get closer to God. Take the risk. Take the step. Take the leap of faith. You unsure, just take the step. Wow, that just was revealed to me. That was real time. So she took the risk to get close to God, to get healed. But because of her issue, the law declared that she had to stay away and keep her distance. But what it says in here, and this is my favorite part, it said this shows one thing: she believes. She had heard of Jesus' healings and his power and is convinced that she will be healed by just touching his cloak. She doesn't dare to be so forward as to come to him directly and kneel before him and make the request. As an unclean woman, that would have been inappropriate. However, she devised a way for him to heal her. She likely hopes without ever being noticed. But Jesus noticed. She didn't want to be noticed, but she wanted to be closer to God. She had to find a way to get to God, so she took a risk. She took the risk because she believed. She believed, therefore she was healed. She believed she was healed. Do you believe? Do you want to be healed? Do you want to take the risk? I think you can learn that from this. Another piece that was in there. Jesus noticed. He noticed when she reached out. When she reached out to him, he noticed. All she did was touch his cloak. She didn't say a word. She just reached out. Just reach out. It says here, you don't need a public outcry or a huge platform. You can meet him just as you are, right where you are. You can find him in a secret place. He can heal you. Wow, that was great. That hit in real time. When I wrote it, it didn't hit like that, but man. Okay. God just be God. Is that a God, whatever? Okay. I looked at another verse. In Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16, it says, let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. Let us draw near to the throne with confidence, which is exactly what that woman with the issue of blood did. She found a way because she believed. I need you to believe. So when you break that down, right? Like Jesus understands our struggles. He knows it. He knows we're going through a tough time. He knows everything that you're dealing with. He knows everything that you're facing. He knows everything that is on this mind. He knows every temptation. He knows every struggle. He knows every shortcoming. He knows every fear. He knows it. And he still wants you to come to him. The other thing too is that he's overcome everything you've ever faced. So any issue you've had or anything that you've dealt with, he's already went through. He's already seen it, experienced it, went through it, lived it. They threw everything at him. I mean, they gave him the worst death possible. And he still rose. Yeah. So when you break this down even more, it says right here, nothing is hidden or obscure to God. He's our ultimate judge. Christ has already shown us the way. He not only experienced suffering, death, and temptation, but he did it without succumbing to sin. So he's perfect. We aren't. let's just, God is perfect. We are not. Best way to get to God, even though we will never be perfect, is to reach out to him confidently and to trust in him and allow him to lead us. Do your best to stay obedient, knowing that you may slip and fall and stumble, but you always have somebody to turn to. Another thing, when I was talking to that person yesterday, like I said, we focus so much on like not sinning and not focusing on God himself. And I'm guilty of that. It's like, okay, I don't want to do this. 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 And that's the only thing you think about, instead of, all right, God, what are we doing today? Like, what do you need me to do? He blessed me in so many ways yesterday. I can't even explain it. Like, and it was just like normal stuff, things that I just didn't, I was just there. I was available, and God saw fit to use me in certain situations to have that conversation with that young student and have these moments of where she's telling me, I just read my word and this happened and that happened. And then for us talking about having faith without works, and then her being like, I just read it. Like, there were so many connections that happened, and it was super cool. And there were so many other things like throughout the day that happened. And it was just like, man, God be working. Like, he knows exactly where to put people. He knows how to connect them. He knows exactly what to give you at the right time. Even when you feel like the timing is off for you, it's perfect for him. So, just trust that. Anyway, to go back to the Hebrews piece, knowing that Christ fully understands our weaknesses and experienced our pain, we can pray. Oh, okay. Didn't I talk about that? Remember how you thought, man, prayer don't really work for real, and it's kind of like a last resort? It says it right here. Knowing that Christ fully understands our weaknesses and experience our pain, we can pray. You know why we pray? Here, When we come to God asking for mercy, grace, help, or forgiveness, we can be confident and assured. Nobody understands our pain better than Jesus, which is why only Jesus can be our high priest as well as the substitute for our payment of sin. You cannot fully pay for your sin. God paid it all. Jesus paid it all. When he died on that Christ, he shed his blood. He rose again. He fulfilled the prophecy that was laid out, and he did it all for us. And as much as we sin, as much as we fail, and as much as we stumble, and as much as we turn away, and as much as we just act like we are bigger than the issue itself in front of us, God still is there. He took a risk on us, even knowing that we may never turn to him. And he still did it. Man. All right. That was a lot. Let me give you my 3 keys. Key number 1, reconnect with the source. Best way. Make sure you pray. Get into your spot. Find your secret place. Car, job, on the way to work, on the couch, in the bed, before you take a shower, in the shower, after the shower, whatever. Like, pray and just talk to God and just have conversations. God, this is how I'm feeling today. God, this is what I experienced today. God, this is what happened. Like, these are the things that I'm thinking. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is how I want to grow. I just need to know where I'm going. Help me reconnect with you. Have a conversation with God. Speak to God in public. I'll be talking to God in public. I'll be like, all right, Lord, here we are. People be looking. I don't care. Me and him talking, right? It ain't crazy. Maybe it's crazy faith, but that's all right. I'd rather have crazy faith than to, just be crazy and not have nothing. But talk to him. Plug back into the source. Read your word. Spread, talk to God daily. Get your daily bread. Trust in him. Man, he loves you. He loves you so much. So reconnect. Key number 2, God understands us. He understands what you're going through. It's just here when we talked about it in Hebrews 4, verse 16, where it talks about understanding all our struggles and understanding all things we went through, all the temptations, all the pain, all the anguish, all the anxiety, all the overthinking, all the worrying, all the doubting, all that stuff. He understands everything that we're feeling. Just remember that when we feel that, we can turn to the one who knows how to defeat it all. We may not have all the answers right away. We may not be able to truly understand it, which is why we don't lean on our understanding. And rather than lean on your understanding, lean on him, because that will give you exactly what you need to push through. So just know he understands you. He's hearing you, man. He hear everything that you say. So listen to him and trust him. Last but not least, key number 3, take the first step. The woman with the issue of blood took that first step, and she took it courageously. She knew all of the risks that were at hand, and yet she took a risk to get closer to God. She took the risk. She reached out. God noticed. God notices you. God knows where you are. God knows exactly what you're going through right now. God knows in this moment what you're dealing with and what you need and what you can ask him for. Just connect with him. Take the first step. Like, if you've never been baptized or step into a church, just take the first step. Just go in, hear a sermon, get in the service, listen to the worship music. Like, just take a chance on God, and it truly may change your life for the better. Just take the risk. Take a step. If you've never done it before, I would encourage you this Sunday to just take a step in church and just see how you feel. A lot of people are like, man, I ain't been to church so long, I'll burst in flames. No, you won't. That'll be the safest place you go. You burst in flames out here, you'll be safe in there. So take that first step, all right? All right. This was good. I had a good time. I hope that you build that connection and reconnect with God and get plugged back into the source. Make that your challenge this week. All right. All right. So once again, this is Ed with Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I thank you so much for joining. How do I do this? Okay. Yeah. I always forget. So you can like and subscribe if you want to hear more of what I got going on. The podcast is on Apple Podcasts. It's also on Spotify, and it's also on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. so you can get updates on when the episodes post and all those good things. And then on social media, you can find me over on Instagram at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. And you can also find me on TikTok at Overthinking Thoughts Pod. Followers are strongly encouraged. Or if you just come across my videos and like what I'm saying and you hit the heart, that's cool too. I just, I'm so glad I didn't get into this thing for like followers and views and all that, because I don't be getting a lot like I would love, but at the same time, I'm getting more than I've ever had before. And for that, I am thankful. So you can always find something to be grateful for, regardless of what the circumstances in life are. You just have to be willing to look strong enough to find what you're grateful for. And if you feel like you can't find it, just know you can always find God right where you are in whatever you're going through. I think that's something to be grateful for. All right. Well, as always, stay safe, be blessed this week, go out and do something amazing. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Overthinking Thoughts Pod. I'm Ed. We out.